For the whole week, Alex, I hope I'm not going to sweat too much.
You'll probably be sweating some, but we'll have to see just how high that heat gets later this week. Overall, we've avoided a lot of this kind of heat. I've only had 5 days in the 90s so far this year. On average, we see about 15 on an annual basis, so we still have some time to go, but we're only seeing at about a third of our usual 90-degree days. Hottest day so far this year has been 92, likely to exceed that by several degrees later this week. The heat wave definitely building in as we get into the middle of the week. Right now, we're still in some northwest airflow with the jet stream, so that's keeping things relatively cool, but you can see how that heat dome that has been trapped over the southwest expands towards us. And keep this in mind for Wednesday. Storm track still overhead, so that could direct in a chance for thunderstorms as we get into the middle of the week. After that, storm track goes away, and it's all about the hot and humid weather lasting into the start of the weekend. So that pattern change really bringing in a lot of heat and humidity. Starting to feel a little of that tonight as we stay in the 60s under hazy conditions. And then temperatures climb fast tomorrow. We go from the 60s to the 80s by the time we get to the end of the morning. So that's a good 20-degree jump within a few hours. Then topping out in the 90s for the first time in a couple weeks. So we'll be then staying very warm going into tomorrow night. Expecting a hazy sky to start with the wildfire smoke that worked in today. And then we're back to sunny by the time we get to the afternoon as that haze clears out. And it's not just the heat, the humidity, really a big factor here. Tomorrow only slightly humid. So yes, it's hotter, but we're not going to sweat too much. That'll be harder as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. Look at where those dew point temperatures are well into that muggy range. So you're really going to feel those heat impacts through the end of the week because of that spike in humidity. So as a result, it's going to feel like nearly 100 with the heat index on Wednesday, easily into the 100s on Thursday, and possibly again on Friday. That all depends on some storm chances, whether that cools us off or not. But be ready for the full brunt of the heat to really work in from Wednesday and beyond. And also make sure you check the back seat. Do not leave your kids or pets in the car really anytime during the summer, but especially when we get into this kind of territory. Look how hot it can get, and very quickly too. Within just 10 to 20 minutes, you're looking at the car temperature, the indoor of that, well into the 120s. Now, we're keeping an eye on Wednesday. Low chance for storms. If we do see storms, would be up to a 2 out of 5 for severe weather. Still some things in play here that could prevent that, but again, there's that potential there into the middle of the week. Forecast-wise, lots of days in the 90s. Ultimately, Thursday's the hottest day with a high of 97. By this weekend, we're starting to cool off back to the 80s in your most accurate 10-day forecast. The weather does stay in the middle 80s long term, so it's just this week that really feels the heat in that extended forecast. By the way, we managed to stay on the dartboard of the 4-degree guarantee, 221, the cash total as of tonight.